Hello everyone, I am Professor Shruti Dikshit, Assistant Professor in Electronics and Communication Department, Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Bhopal. This college is under SAGE Group. Today, we will discuss about the characteristics and quality attributes of embedded system. So let's start with our topic of discussion, characteristics of embedded system. As we know, what are embedded systems? Embedded systems are those systems in which both hardware and software is there. Each embedded system possesses a set of characteristics which are unique to it. Some important characteristics are listed here. First is application and domain specific. It is useful for particular application. It is having a sophisticated functioning, reactive and real-time systems. Means real-time systems, the system should respond to requests or tasks in a known amount of time. Operates in harsh environments, means in critical environment, it gives best output. Distributed operation, small size and weight, low power consumption, and low manufacturing cost. The quality attributes of embedded system means it represents the non-functional requirements that needs to be addressed in design of an embedded system. The various quality attributes that needs to be addressed in embedded system development are broadly classified into two categories: operational quality attributes and non-operational quality attributes. As in case of operational quality attributes, it refers to the relevant quality attributes related to an embedded system when it is in the operational or it is known as online mode. But in case of non-operational quality attributes, that needs to be addressed for the product, not on the basis of operational aspects, are grouped under this category. So under these two quality attributes, operational as well as non-operational, we will discuss in detail. First, we will discuss about the operational quality attributes. These are the few operational attributes, and we will discuss one by one: response, throughput, reliability, maintainability, security, and safety. First of all, we will see what is the meaning of reliability. Reliability means portability, that a system will not fail. MTBF, mean time between failure, frequency of failure, and MTTR means mean time to repair, means this system is allowed to be ordered following a failure. So this is all about the reliability. Maintainability is the probability that a failing system means can be repaired within a certain time frame, and it is given by MTBF upon MTBF plus MTTR. Response means the quickness of means measurement of quickness of the system, means how far a system is tracking the changes in how fast the system is tracking the changes in input variable. Safety, it describes the property that failing a system will not cause any harm to a particular device. Security, this term describes the property that confidential data remains confidential and the authentic communication is guaranteed. The security is the important operational quality attribute of the embedded system. And the last operational quality attribute is the throughput. Throughput means the efficiency of a system. It can be defined as the rate of production or operation of a defined process over a stated period of time. So this is all about the different operational quality attributes or online mode quality attributes. In case of non-operational quality attributes, means not on the operational aspects, are grouped under this category: testability, debugability, evolvability, portability, time to prototype and market, and per unit and total cost. So these are the 5 important non-operational quality attributes. First of all, we will discuss about what is the meaning of test ability. Means it is a combination of two words, test as plus as ability. Means the important feature of this embedded system, it is having the ability to test, means how easily one can test the design application. It is applicable to both software as well as hardware system. Hardware testing means that the peripherals and the total hardware functioning desired manner, means it deals with the hardware part of the system. And in case of software testing, it ensures that the software is functioning in a desired manner. It deals about the complete software of that system. Hardware system deals with the hardware functioning of the system. Debug ability, debugging the product for figuring out the probable sources that create unexpected behavior in the system. Means it is not, means it should be find out the what are the different sources which is creating, which are responsible for creating the unwanted or unexpected behavior in the system. Again, as we have discussed in the testability, hardware testing as well as software testing, in the same way in case of debug ability, hardware level debugging and software level. Means in case of hardware level debugging, what is in case it happens to be figuring out, means finding out the issues created by the hardware problems. And in case of software level debugging, it is figuring out or finding out the problem errors that appears as a result of flaws in the software. As the name indicates, the function of that particular system. Evolvability, evolvability is the refers to the ease with which the embedded product can be modified to take advantage of new software as well as hardware technologies. Means it can be easily modified according to the requirement, or means it involves the new advantages of hardware as well as software technologies. Portability, it is a measure of system independence. Means the standard embedded product should be flexible, portable to migrate to a new target or software to a different processor. Means porting means what? The migration of the embedded processor. Means migration means portability, from migrate from one software to the another software. Means if the particular application is developed in Java, and it should be capable to run in a different target processor, but means it is possible in Java application only. It is not possible in case of assembly language. So this is all about the portability. Time to prototype and market means, as the name indicates, time to prototype means time required to make a particular prototype of that particular design. Means how much time is required for making the small prototype of that design. Time to market means how much time it required to elapse between the conceptualization of a product and the time at which the product is ready for selling or use. Product prototyping helps a lot in reducing time to market. So this is all about the time to prototype and time to market. Per unit and total cost, it is the important factor in case of embedded system, as it involves both hardware as well as software. So cost is a factor which is closely monitored by both end user and the product manufacturer. Any failure to position the cost of a product at a nominal may lead to failure. So proper market study and cost benefit analysis should be carried out in case of per unit and total cost. So this is all about the non-operational quality attributes of embedded system. Now we will discuss about the product life cycle curve. So this is the graph between time and revenue. First of all, we will understand the meaning of product life cycle curve. Product life cycle curve means it is a graphical representation of the unit cost, product sales, and profit with respect to the various life cycle stages of the product, starting from conception to disposal. Means, as we know, it is the graphical representation of product sales, unit cost, and profit from its product development to its disposable means product retirement. So this is the typical definition, or you may call it as a definition of product life cycle curve. And product life cycle means representation of different stages of a product from its conception to disposal. Conception means the initial stages of the product development, and disposal means its product retirements. When the proper benefit is not if we are not getting the proper benefit of that product, then it is known as product retirement. So one by one we will see what it happens when from its starting to the end. It is the graph between the revenue and time. As we see in the first stage is product development, second stage is product introduction, third stage is growth, fourth stage is product maturity, and the last stage is product retirement. So in case of product development, there is no unit cost, no profit, no product sale. Okay, there is no role of three graphs. Okay, but in case of when it's product introduction to the market, means there is a constant unit cost. The product sale is now going to take leap, and the profit will be in the negative, means we are not getting any profit from that particular product during the stage of product introduction. And there is no role of all the three curves in case of product development. In case of third stage, which is growth, the product sale now goes on increasing, means more number of products are selling out, the unit cost is constant, and now we are getting the profit from that particular product in case of third stage, which is known as growth. In case of fourth stage, product maturity, if we will compare both three curves, means the product sale is now reaches to its highest peak. In case of fourth stage, which is product maturity, the unit cost is now goes on reducing, the profit is also goes on reducing. Its highest peak is in between the third stage and the fourth stage. If we will see the final product retirement, means final stage, at that in this particular stage, the product sale is goes on reducing, as well as no profit we will gain in this stage, means profit curve is also goes on decreasing, and there is no unit cost. So in this way we can compare all the three graphs: product sales, unit cost, and profit. This is the graph between the revenue and time, and these different stages are there of our product. So we can say that product life curve, it is a graphical representation of unit cost, product sales and profit from its conception to the product disposal. So in this way, we have discussed about the characteristics as well as quality attributes of embedded system. This is the conclusion that we have discussed the different quality attributes. Quality attributes, first two types, characteristics, as we have discussed, there are few important characteristics of the embedded system. In case of quality attributes, two types of attributes are there, operational as well as non-operational, and we have discussed separately operational quality attributes is online mode, and this is the offline mode of non-operational quality attributes, and this is the graph between the product life cycle curve. So in this lecture we have discussed about the characteristics of embedded system, quality attributes of embedded system and its product life curve. So in the next lecture we will discuss about the different types of processor. This is all about from my side. Thank you.